that term clickbait, because it is. It's just garbage. But so, yeah, if you could mute everyone for me so I can focus on this. So the two questions we're going to address tonight is the issues on the internet, and when people say it's a scam, a Ponzi scheme, and a pyramid scheme. And the second thing is, where do they get this money to pay us? How can they afford to do it? Is it sustainable? Is it going to go for the long haul? So really keen to address this. And I promise you after this, whether you fully understand it or not, this will build your confidence up enormously. So I'll address the first question. And the biggest issue is about people looking at that clickbait on the internet. So the thing is that with this, you've got to remember there's no money in hyperverse at all. Can you liken it to an airline frequent flyer program like Qantas? And if you're in New Zealand, it's Air New Zealand. So let's liken it to a Qantas frequent flyer program where you pay to buy a membership into that rewards program. Now, you accumulate Qantas frequent flyer points and you redeem it for seats on an aeroplane. Now, it doesn't cost the airline anything to give you those seats. Obviously, if there's some empty seats there, that's what they're giving you. It's exactly the same thing in hyperverse. Now, could you imagine this? There's no money in this at all. So this is why it can't be a scam. It can't be a Ponzi scheme. And I'll give you a definition of a Ponzi scheme. And if you can remember this, a Ponzi scheme is simply when new money is coming in, cash, fiat currency, is coming in to pay old members. So I'll repeat that. When cash is coming in to pay old members. That's what a Ponzi scheme is. So when you realize in this, there's not 1 cent in hyperverse. You don't even pay for your membership, a membership in hyperverse in cash. You simply go to an external exchange, something like Binance. You purchase a membership in USDT in Tether. And with that, you purchase a membership in USDT in Tether and crypto. Now, once you're in there, we get rewards points. We get hyperverse units. Now, hyperverse units, you can get 1 million of these things. Now, outside of hyperverse, they're not worth anything at all. They're hyperverse units. So what we actually do is we then convert those hyperverse units back to their crypto coin, which is MOF, and we send it out to the market. So it can't be a scam. Has anyone ever been told Qantas frequent flyer programs is a scam? It's not. It's a loyalty program. This is a loyalty program in a company. We've aligned with the most, I guess, influential people in the cryptocurrency industry. Ryan Zhu, Amazon Prime Video, described him as the king of cryptocurrency. They credit him for saving Bitcoin when it was on its knees in 2014. They labeled him affectionately the Martian. He's out of this world, the most influential person in this industry. That's who we've aligned with. That's who we've bought a membership into their company, into their program. So this is exactly the same as Qantas frequent flyer points. Now, I know when I present, I don't always talk compliantly because I'm just trying to get my message across. But it's exactly the same thing. All right, so we've cleared that up. It's not a scam. It's not a Ponzi scheme. There's no cash. There's no money being exchanged. No mention of money. There's not 1 cent in hyperverse. Let's sort out item 2. And remember how I said to you, imagine if this wasn't costing them anything at all. And this is the genius part. So I'll explain it in my terms and then Andrew will. And I've got Jay Perry on. Jay Perry, you're switched on guy. I've made you co-host, and if you can give your definition after this. So please don't worry if you don't get it. There's plenty of people that do, and you can get people outside of after this call to explain it to you. So we simply get our hyperverse units. Now, I normally withdraw it at about 10,000 HU at a time, which traditionally is 10,000 US dollars, because HU is 1 for 1 for the US dollar. Now, I always thought every time I withdrew my HU, I'm thinking Hyperverse or the Hypertech Group are paying me 10 grand. How are they doing that? How can they afford to do that? What about when I'm eventually earning $1 million a month? How can they afford to do that? So this is the genius part. So we then send our HU, we convert it to MOF, molecular of the future. Now, the thing is that the Hypertech Group, they've made over 100 billion of these MOF coins, crypto coins, tokens. Now, if they were to put them on the market, they wouldn't be worth anything. But if people like us were drip feeding them into the market, so every time we wanted to redeem them for crypto, we converted our HU to MOF, and then we send our MOF out to the market. And once it's out in the market, then the market buys our MOF, and that's where we get our currency. So it's not hyperverse paying us, it's the market that's paying us for our MOF. And once it's in our exchange, we can then convert it to USDT or Bitcoin or load it onto our Visa card, all those sorts of things. So technically, what's it costing them? Well, whatever it costs them to produce 100 billion of these MOF. But as we send it out to the market, this crypto coin of theirs is going up in value, thanks to us, but also thanks to people outside of Hyperverse who are also buying this coin and seeing that there's plenty of activity around it, which is raising the price. And we're using their crypto exchanges to also put this MOF out to the market. So, Andrew, can I hand it to you? Because I probably did a butcher's job of
No. Look, I've got a bunch of notes here, and Bernie pretty much covered off almost all of my points. So the question I get asked a lot is, where does the money come from? How can they afford to do this? And the short answer is the money comes from the market. It doesn't come from the company. The company already have a bucket load of MOF tokens. They already own these tokens. What they could do, in fact, I'll take a step back. They had 100 million of these tokens back last year. And if you have a look at the token price, it went up significantly from the start of 2021 through to the end of 2021. And then they made a conscious decision to do a chain split to move it from the Ethereum chain to the Tron network, or the Tron chain. And when they did that, they did a divide by 1,000, and that's why you saw a big drop in the price, because what they wanted was 100 billion of the tokens, and that's what they've got in their back pocket. So these guys are aligned with MOF, who have 100 billion tokens. Now, the value of that token over the coming weeks and months and years will most likely go up, like the last time it was on the other network. It will do the same thing. So they've got MOF is it's a financial services project. It's providing security of digital assets, and it provides a backbone of technology using blockchain for other companies to work with. So that may have hit the back wall with a few people, but it basically it's a digital asset infrastructure which we're going to need in the future more and more as blockchain gets bigger and bigger. So MOF have a good project, they have a good token, and they have a bucket load of them. Now, rather than dump those 100 billion tokens into the market and the price would simply drop through the floor, they wouldn't be worth anything. What they're doing very cleverly is they're using us to drip feed the tokens into the market and have other people buy them and pay us good money for them, pay us USDT. Now, what can we do with USDT? Like we bought into the project with USDT, we could change our USDT over for Bitcoin or Aussie dollars or New Zealand dollars using an exchange like Who or like Binance or like OKX. So the fact of the matter is that they have a bunch of equity in their company and they're drip feeding it to us a little bit at a time, and we're pushing into the market and the market's paying us. So for me, this clicked around September, October last year, and when we had the chat to Goran just a few nights ago and he confirmed it all, he said, the first thing to remember, there is no cash here. They are providing us equity via the use of these tokens in their company, and then we're taking them off the market and selling them. The other way that we get paid is via the new hyperverse token. Now, it's similar but different. At the moment, when you pull out MOF, if you pull out 1,000 MOF or you pull out any amount of MOF, 10% will be forced into HVT. Now, that's a good thing. So just let your HVT build up. You can withdraw it. There's a slightly different method to withdraw that HVT. You can still get it out of the system a different one. But for now, that token also, as the metaverse comes on, or the hyperverse comes online and metaverse gets bigger, the value of that HVT token changes, and it will hopefully increase as well. So there's been a lot that's changed in the company over the last couple of months, and they've all been really good changes to enable the longevity of the project.